Good morning, class. Today we will be working on rational exponents. So I'm going to click on M.1. So, whenever we see an exponent that is a fraction, it means the same thing as a root. So, when we have 1/2, this is the same thing. When we have a number to the 1/2 power, it would be the square root. When we have a number to the 1/3 power, it would be cube root. When we have a number to the 1/4 power, it's fourth root. Okay? Do you guys see how that works? So 1 to the 1/2 power is actually the square root of 1. What number multiplied by itself gives you 1? Well, that's 1. Submit. Cube root of 64. So what number times what number times what number? So a number times itself equals 64. So we could do 3 to the 3rd power. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. That's not right. So it has to be more than that. 4 to the 3rd power. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So 4 is the cube root of 64. Okay? So square root of 36. 6 times 6 is 36. Fourth root of 81. So what number? So we got to do a number times the same number times the same number times the same number. So multiply the same number 4 times. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. So yeah, 3 to the 4th power is 81. Okay. Now we're going to move on to M2. M2, we are multiplying with rational exponents. So whenever we have the same base, so our base is 1. Whenever we have that same base and we have different exponents, what we have to do is we can add the exponents. So what's 1/3 plus 1/3? Well, so first thing we have to check, are denominators the same? Yes, they are. So we can add across on the top. 1 plus 1 is 2. Keep the denominator the same. So our solution is 1 to the 2/3 power, which is the same thing as 1. For this one, we got 5 to the 1/2 times 5 to the 1/2. We're going to add 1/2 plus 1/2, and that gives us 2/2, which is equal to 1. So our answer is 5 to the 1st power. 5 to the 1st power is the same thing as 5. So this one's a little more complicated. So we got the square root of 2 times the square root of 32. Okay? So we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 32. Well, when we have the square root times the square root, we can rewrite it as the square root of what's 2 times 32? 64. And what's the square root of 64? 8.